Okay. Guys, welcome back. This is episode 5 of Get Recruited Alumni Chats, and I'm joined by Tilda Trygger, the one and only former Aikoa, former BG Luleå and Luleå Basket, former Valencia, and current NC State Wolfpack, Tilda Trygger. Tilda, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Patient.
Thank you for joining me. Big win against Virginia the other day, is that right?
Yes, it was super fun.
Okay. For those of you that were not following, I think it was 9 points, 13 rebounds, really all around game from Tilda. Also worth noting, she's a two-time showcase alumni from the Stockholm edition, and was one of the standout players both times there, obviously. Um, How has your experience been at NC State so far? So I guess we could start off by saying, like, on the court, how have you enjoyed it? How's it been different? What do you think so far of the whole college basketball thing?
So I think it's super fun. It's very different from Sweden. Everybody's so athletic, so strong, so fast here. So it's very different and hard, but I've been just trying to adjust and play my game. So I think it's been super fun. And now with starting and everything, I'm super happy. So just like keep playing against these strong players and get better have been like super fun. Tough, but very fun.
Cool. I think I know already from knowing you the last few years. I know that you're super kind of grounded and humble and everything. And I was in Sweden for quite a while, so I know about the Jantelag and stuff. But I have to say, for anyone watching and listening, for Tilda to be starting in the ACC for a top 25 team, I think number 21 right now in the country, that's a big deal. And so, shout out to you for being able to adjust to that so quickly. On that note, what do you feel like you've improved on the most basketball wise just this year so far, like just in the short time that you've been there?
So when I came here, everybody says like you're too nice, and when you step between those lines, you have to be a dog. My coach said that to me every day. So that's been something that I've been working on, and just like when you step on the court, you have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you're gonna be pushed away from the big players. So
Yeah.
just be aggressive and play hard. So that's you really have to do that when you're on the court here in
Cool.
college.
Okay. That's interesting. I think that's also a common thing with a lot of super talented European players is it's like you get a coach in your ear or teammates in your ear saying, "Hey, you have to have that extra aggression to be successful." But it helps to be a dog that is also tall and talented and all that stuff. What about just college life off the court? What have you enjoyed the most at NC State?
Yeah, so it's happening so much off the court as well. It's a lot going to college. You have to handle school, the academics, and then it's team activities every time, all the time. You have friends out of the team that you want to hang with. It's sports everywhere. It's the football games, soccer games, gymnastics. So you can do so much fun things here on campus, outside of campus. So I'm just enjoying, the real college life, and I'm so excited to have that outside of the basketball because, yeah, I think it's super fun.
Yeah, it's nice. I guess I mean, you very much have to treat basketball like a job because it is. But it's nice to have that something else to do other than that. You've been to some American football games then?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah,
And have you enjoyed it? I haven't. I follow college football. I did not see how NC State's done this year, but have you enjoyed the games?
I have, but they're so long. I think the intro is the most fun part. So, when
Okay.
the people over and the everything, but then maybe leave at halftime
Okay.
to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
It's like the beginning, but it's so long. So,
Um,
yeah.
so
But
what I guess and now this is just from a cultural perspective, so I guess it could be something that's on campus or part of the college life, but just I mean, um, I think the average American doesn't consider this because it's their country, but for international players, I mean, you're thousands of kilometers from home. I think if I remember correctly, like 5,400 something miles from home. Um, Different country, different culture. What would be your favorite feature, I guess, of being in the US? And then we're going to follow that up with the most weird part because I don't want to do least favorite because it might make me cry, but we'll do favorite and then most weird.
Okay, so I am super, super happy to be here. Like, I had the opportunity to go college, and that is such a big thing. For me, everything is awesome. I get the education here. So, yeah, I'm just super happy to be here, and it's such a big thing that I get to play basketball and get an education at the same time.
Okay, that's a great answer. Yeah, it's good to have that perspective.
Turn the lights on real quick.
Okay.
Well, I think they turn off after a while. There we go.
There it is. So now, yeah, it's cool for you to have that perspective because I think no matter what level of basketball you're at, and you're at the highest level,
Yeah.
it's cool for player. I kind of had a similar one when I was getting to play in Europe after college. It's nice to have that perspective and just say like, man, even on the worst day, I get to do this. I get to have this experience. Um,
Yeah.
what is the weirdest part? Like what part of American culture or being in the States is weird to you coming from Sweden?
So I think the weirdest part are the Americans, to be honest.
There are yeah, we're a special bunch sometimes. Yeah.
So they are super, super nice. They talk a lot, they
Yeah.
dance. So I love that. But it's very special from being Swedish and
Oh yeah.
each person coming to the America. It's a very big adjustment, but I love it most of the times. But
Yeah.
it's been, yeah.
Very different cultures when it comes to like socializing and how much you talk, how animated you get when you talk, but that's a good one.
Yes.
Um, I would say now just kind of still on the college basketball note, what would you say, and if it ties in with your previous answer, that's fine too, but what would you say has been the most challenging adjustment that you've had to make? Whether it's with lifestyle or the team or your game, what's been the most challenging adjustment that you've had to approach so far?
So it's been a lot of adjustments just from living so far away from home is a big thing with time difference as well. And you're not able to go home that often as you
Yeah,
were before. So that's a big adjustment. But also the way they play in basketball, as I said, like if you're not aggressive when you step into the court, you are gonna get subbed out. So just that, and you have to uh, they really want you to improve, but you have to show them that you really want to, because otherwise they're not going to help you because they really want to win and really want to make their players better, but you have to show them that you want to. So like extra work every day, and so go shoot and be very like play hard every practice. So you have to show them very much that you
yeah,
want to get.
yeah. That's something that I think a lot of people don't see until they get to the US. It's because it's such a different culture around sports, and then it's competitive to the I guess to the highest level. So sometimes feelings can get hurt, but it seems like you've taken it in the right way, and the results kind of speak for themselves. Um,
Or like they're gonna be super hard on you, and like every day they're gonna be hard on you, and
yeah,
sometimes you out of practice like just tired and maybe sad because they've like been hard on you all day, but the only thing they want is to get you better and win the games.
yeah,
So
yeah, and I think that's with a lot of the kids that have come over. not just from Sweden, but obviously that's a lot of the players that I've come across have been Swedish. A lot of people can take that and use it to become better and to really develop. And then a lot of people, I think it's, it might be their first time where a coach screams at them or where a coach is that hard on them for the whole day. And for some people, it works and they take it the right way. And for other people, unfortunately, I think it's maybe it's too much for some people. And so I'm happy it's not too much for you.
Yeah.
Um, so I have to share a cool memory. I never told you this, I don't think. It just at the past showcases and stuff like that. But the first time I saw you, I can't say that I predicted that it would be the exact school or the exact but I predicted the level and just off of about a 15 seconds. Do you remember the when they used to have the region camps in Sweden?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so normally the only coaches that would be asked to be there would be Swedish because it's a Swedish thing. And I guess they got into a bind in Stockholm and needed somebody to come, help run one of the groups. And so I was asked to come, and I was with the boys in another gym, but I was walking. I think it was at Blackeberg maybe. And I walked in. I see this tall blonde girl with a long blonde ponytail, just shooting, just nothing special. It was before the session started, and I saw you just shooting around, and I don't even remember who was next to me, but I tapped that coach and I said, "Who is that?" And they told me, and I said, who does she play for? And I said, "That's going to be a Division 1 player, just so you know."
Oh,
And
you
then
said.
yeah, yeah. And then I that was my first season in Sweden, I think. And later that year, I think was the first I don't think get recruited was a thing until the following year, but I remember telling whoever was next to me just off seeing that, I said that's a pretty natural jump shot for, I think you guys were probably 14 at the time or something like that. But it's cool to see that now because I remember seeing you back then and saying, okay, this is probably one of those players. So it's a yeah, I wanted to share that with you because it's cool when it actually happens.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, from the Region camps till now. And what did you say was I was too afraid at the beginning to mispronounce the name. Before Aikoa, what was your first club in Sweden?
Saltsjöbaden.
Okay. No, we have to give them a shout out just so
Yeah.
it weren't forgotten. Um, Next thing I wanted to just chat with you briefly about, you have appeared for not just the Swedish youth national teams, but you've also been with the women's senior national team. Um, now that you're in college and stuff like that, do you plan to continue playing for Sweden when you can? And how do you feel about the national team stuff in general?
Yeah, so I really enjoy playing for the national teams, and now this summer will be U20 in the A division. So I would really like to play this summer, but I haven't talked to my coach yet about it. So that's the thing I have to
Okay.
do. So it's a little bit up to him, but I love to play for the national team and for the seniors as well when the youth years are over. I would
Yeah.
love to develop my career and play for my home country, for Sweden. I love that. It's such a great feeling. And to be in the senior, it's so fun. It's awesome.
Cool. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that. You guys will have, I think, moving forward, just the same as I would predict for the boys, but if they can get everyone to play. But I mean, there's been this wave of Swedish college players at many levels over the last few years. Like there were already many, but now it's starting to be more and more every year. And I think eventually there's going to be some really strong Swedish senior teams because players like you and other former college players will eventually be the senior, the will make up the roster of the senior team. So it should be pretty fun, I think.
Yeah, no, I think the women's senior team is very strong. Like we won games recently, and that's very good. Now, of course, younger people people are gonna come from college. It's sometimes hard to go home in the summers and in November and but I would always like to try to play with them.
Cool. Um, so as I mentioned before, I mean, it's also convenient that you're just a really good player, but you played in the Get Recruited Showcase the first and the second year that we had it in Stockholm. I wanted to just ask if you recall um, what what was your experience there at the showcase? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What do you remember from it? And would you recommend it to like high school Swedish girls that are still in the country?
Yeah, for sure. Like when I was that young, I saw that as an opportunity to get seen, and to get to play with the other young girls in Sweden. I think it was super fun. Of course, people are gonna think it's a little bit scary to go there, meet a lot of people, play and get seen. I thought I was nervous too, but I think
Yeah.
it's a very thing. It was super fun. We played a lot of games. That was super fun. And we had competitions. So I would, yes, I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe the second showcase you were in, you actually won the 3-point contest.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
yeah, it took one of our sponsors was doing, I think, shoes for everybody. It took a while to get that voucher to you. It took like a year, I think, and then it finally got it done, I think. But I tapped one of the guys, and it was I think one of the American contacts that was in town to watch the boys' side mostly, but he was there hanging out, and I tapped him and I said, "Don't be surprised if the 6'6" girl wins the 3-point contest." He said, "What? No, no, no." I said, "Yeah, you'll see."
That was fun. So I would just go there and see what you never know what you can get out of it. So I would just try as such a young woman, just try and play your game and you don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's was very fun, a very fun thing and good for you. So
Cool.
yeah.
I appreciate that. I think it's a cool chance. It's still every year it's cool for me, but I think at the first and second one for sure that you were at, it's normally when you're with the national team, like you said, it's U20 or U18 or U16, and so it's easy to be in the gym with that group during that time. But when you can have a few different generations and all the best, all the most talented kids in the gym at one time, it's really fun because those and the way that you guys play, I don't know if it would be as successful in America because of the style of play in high school, but you guys share the ball and move the ball, and so it was actually a really cool style of basketball that I was a bit worried on if people were going to share the ball and play a good style, but it was actually pretty fun.
And no, I think it was super fun for sure.
Uh, so the last bit, there's two last bits, but the last bit that I want to ask you, so you've been clearly a standout player in Sweden. You've already done that. You played um, high level in Spain, youth, and got in the game like as a high school kid in Valencia, and now you're playing in the ACC, starting for NC State. Lots of cool things on the resume. What are some goals of yours moving forward? And before you answer, just I'm giving you the pass right now to don't worry about Jante. I just want what do you want to do moving forward with basketball? What's your vision? What's your goals?
So it depends a little bit. So if I like the college style, if I keep on liking this style of college, I of course want to go to the women's MBA. That's my biggest goal. So, and I also want to keep playing in Europe. So, and Spain, I really like Spain. So keep playing there and get a bigger role in a big team like Valencia.
Yeah.
And be my goal as well. But women's NBA is like that's my biggest goal.
That's what I was thinking, and that's what I wanted to hear because what I think will happen is that you're going to keep working hard, you're going to keep developing, and then we can look back on this in a few years and say, "Oh yeah, remember that goal?" Um,
Yeah. No, that would be super cool for sure.
cool. Well, I would say I just if you could give any advice, this is the last thing, and then we can wrap up. If you could give any sort of advice to if there's a young kid in Sweden, whether she's just starting out in basketball, or if it's somebody that's already starting to take it kind of seriously, if you could give a bit of advice, what would you say for somebody who wants to pursue it? Um, wants to pursue it in a serious way and wants to get to college, what would your advice be?
So to get to higher levels, it's a lot about like you have to work hard. Like you have to go to practice almost every day, and sometimes it's not going to be fun to be there maybe, but you just have to work hard every day, and you have to make other coaches and people see that you're working hard because they're going to like that even if you're not having the best day. Try your best because every day is not going to be your best day. And also believe in yourself because that's you have to believe in yourself more than any other people do. Because other people is not going to believe in you, but if you do, I think you can go a long way. So work hard and believe in yourself is going to make you, yeah.
You heard it here, kids. No, that's really good stuff. I think if it's coming from Tilda Trygger, if it's good enough for her, then it's good enough for 99.99% of the young girls in Sweden. So that's good stuff.
But I
Um,
think it's pretty basic stuff. Like
yeah,
just
it sounds basic, but I think also, and maybe you've seen this with teammates over the years or with opposing players or whatever. It's really not that complicated, but whenever things get difficult,
yeah,
um,
the
then
hard part.
then you then you find out who can stick to the plot and who can't.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. But I think to have people around you that support you is very important too. So talk with your family. I talk to my mom a lot. She have helped me so much. So talk with your people around you because when the tough times come, you will maybe have to talk to someone else.
yeah.
So try to have someone by your side and that also believes in you. But remember, you have to be the one that believes in you the most and work hard.
Okay. That's good stuff. Tilda, I really appreciate you joining me today. Wishing you luck in the next game. It looks like you guys are on a good roll right now. I think three wins in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's try for number four then.
Yes.
But yeah, I super proud of what you've done so far and that you were a part of the showcase back in the day. And I wish you all the best of the luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you
right.
for,
Well, yeah, let's talk again soon.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.